There's coverage, and then there's Bovolus Vista Once SQ, the most comprehensive respiratory vaccine covering more causes of BRD, including these two. No other vaccine covers both. So for more coverage, make it Bovolus Vista Once SQ.
in second pretty easily. The ewe in third, big framed ewe that is super big, long, tall. Ideally, I just like to add more muscle in this frame and just give it a little more rear flank and kind of soften her up just a notch. Just mainly just add some more power. Kind of like the one here in fourth. Here's the power sheep. She's definitely super thick, front to rear. We just like to smooth her up just a notch and kind of extend her all the way through. A really cool spotted sheep here in the fifth hole, one that just doesn't quite stack up in terms of power out here compared to the other ones, but a really high sheep as well. Good class. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Your placings on Class 3, a single entry, your first place went to Grayson Maxwell. Your placings on Dorset Advantage, Class 4, first goes to Michael Carber. Might be Michelle, I apologize. Michelle Carber. Second goes to Mackenzie Kruger. Your third goes to Carolee Henderson. Your fourth goes to Devin Frost. And your fifth to Isabel Bacon. We are on Class 5 of your Dorset Advantage. This young man in the black and Ted. Can we send 1 and 2 right back in behind rather than out? I'm sorry. Yeah. Young man, you're helping. I know. If Ted misses them, bring 1 and 2 right behind us. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That'll help. More than one of us looking. And so you're saying I got to ask the red known and the speckles to come back. Dorset Advantage to come back.
Cassie's got them. She's the only one that's got them listed. Do you have them listed?
They're just written yes on here.
Yeah, but make them come back so that way they have to come back so they know whether they're top or 1 or 2. Because then we pick the top 5 at the end of the youth show.
Because they're way down in the class and they don't think they're 1 or 2 of any. If you are a bred and owned in any of the breeds, for instance, the Dorset Advantage, I think there's at least 2. As soon as the Dorset Advantage champion is picked, you need to be back in the holding area so we can make sure you realize there is a bred and owned top 5 towards the end of the show. So it's very important that we make sure you understand and we understand where you placed in the bred and owned.
I know, but I don't have a list that tells me what the bred.
He's trying to make sure they know they are the bred.
Yeah,
that's what he wanted me to do.
So you want them coming back in
They
the
at least need to be acknowledged so they know.
Yeah. Okay, I agree.
Because I don't.
So whether you let them go back in the ring or not, they need to come back to the ring, and you can say.
Because I haven't. I'm not right with that.
Question: are we doing a registered drive at the overall registered land going or is it each division winner goes to the line?
Yeah, 1 and 2 out of each breed will go to the thing.
Okay, thank you.
But red known is going to be fixing that. I don't have a list. I can't tell you.
If you've lost a cell phone, come up and identify it at the announcer stand. I have one cell phone. It's got a lock on it or I'd be making phone calls.
Another good class. Again, we got a lot of variation in these top, well, just pretty much all the way through. As you study these and really analyze them, we're going to go with the young ladies' white sheep. One, I think, just kind of balances up better than the rest. When she gets him stuck, this lamb's super level, super square. She's shallow. She gets deeper as she goes back. Big-footed, just kind of puts everything together pretty nicely. Ideally, I'd like to stretch her out from flank to flank just a notch more, but one that's really super smooth, and when she gets it propped up like she did a minute ago, one I think comes together pretty nicely. We've got a little sheep here in second that there's times I had this one win in the class, but you study this one, she gets a little piecier in the way she's made. Her hip loin, the way she ties together there, kind of her front end's getting a little coarser, a little deeper chested. One that's carrying more cover today, and we get her on the move, and she gets a little looser in her structure and stuff, but a really good high-quality ewe as well. The ewe in third, very square, very level. You study her step back from the profile, and you like her a lot. Get over the top of her, she's getting a little flatter ribbed, a little narrower constructed compared to the rest of them. Study her there in the front end. She's getting a little more mature and a little deeper in that chest. We've got a sheep here in fourth place. One I think's got a ton of potential. You study this gal, and I really like her a lot as far as her shallowness, her flank, just the way she's put together. There's times we really don't get to see her to her potential out here. But I think a ewe that's got a really bright future, and one that I think can be super competitive down the road. Just a really good, high-quality one. Kind of the same with the gal rolling up here in fifth. This ewe, I like her a lot. She's super thick, super smooth. I don't think we really got to see her to her potential out here today, but one that's packed full of muscle. Just a really stout, good featured one. High quality class. Let's give them a nice round of applause for all their efforts out here.
This is the cards, right? Your placings on that class of Dorset Advantage first goes to Chloe Cunningham. Second, Anna Carber. Third, Kyler Zonker. Fourth, Brock Dissenberger. And fifth, Kinsley Mason. Congratulations. Now entering the ring should be our champion drive. We need to get them set up in classes, guys. We have a little girl standing behind the announcer stand. Blue t-shirt, colorful little bottoms, about 3 foot tall, blonde hair, big smile. If no one claims her, I'll have a daughter when we're done tonight. That movie where the guy clicks and blows the whole place up? Okay. Oh, announcing we have banners or announcing we're having bread and champion? So I need to announce them of each breed? Yeah. Okay. I think it's smart. Smart. Okay, now I just need, I got it. Thank you, dear. Who was who? Who was who? Who won it? Who won it?
So not the yearling, but the other class, the first and the second.
Class 2 was your champion?
Was reserve.
Class 2, the Harper, Michael. Michelle, was it a girl? Boy, Michael Carver was grand. And then you did out of class, same class. Thank you. Thank you, Judge. 2. Your champion Dorset Advantage goes to Michael Carber. Your reserve, Mackenzie Kruger. Congratulations. Just so that people are aware, we did have a bred and owned in the Dorset show. Your bred and owned champion and reserve were Quinlan Yoho and Hayden Smarsh. We also have a bred and owned in the Dorset Advantage. with your first going to Chloe Cunningham and your reserve, Brock Dissenberger.
Really good class of hamp ewes here. The one that wins it, super good. Like this gal, she's super stout. Profiling dream, you just study her and run her to the top, and that's a pretty easy decision for me today. I think it comes a little more challenging here in second, third. We're going to follow her with the same profile type here in second. You study her very elevated, very shallow, really, really cool. Those things are hard to make in a sheep to have that silhouette in this one. Granted that we've got all kinds of power in the one in third, but I think the harder thing to make as far as being a breeder myself is one that has a silhouette like that, that's super shallow, super modern in her look. We can add a shot of muscle to her babies with a really good buck, but having this silhouette's really hard to make. I do appreciate the power. I'm a muscle guy, always have been, and I do appreciate the power that this gal possesses. Big hip, big rack, super round-bodied, tons of power to her. We need to breed her to a buck kind of like the ewe in second, shallow her progeny up just a touch and kind of elevate them in the front end. If we can keep that power, of course, if everybody could do that, it'd be easy. But this gal's got tons and tons of power. I think down here in fourth, fifth, and sixth, as we study these ewes, I think there's some give and take here in this set. Really good combination ewe here in fourth, super stylish, very complete, very smooth. You love her soundness, just a really good, solid ewe. A little more elevated ewe in fifth. We appreciate her elevation, her levelness, her squareness. When we start comparing her to the one, especially the one in front of her, we just like to blow her apart through her center body, just to add some more mass in that center and lower stifle. Young man's high quality ewe here that kind of rounds the class off with very high quality ewe, but just ran into some really good ones here in this super tough class. Let's give him a nice round of applause for a good ewe and a good class out here.
You want him to come back? Well, it's already placed. You want him, so what do you want done?
So we need to call, and I'm going to have them call in the barns, but Mackenzie Kruger, Brock Disberger, and Chloe Cunningham will come back for a redo of the Dorset Advantage Bred No Drive.
Because there's two in one class, but it's already placed.
No, she was in this class. So she didn't get considered into that Bred No.
She was reserve grand on the whole deal.
So then she should probably.
So she's your champion. You know, it's already sorted. He's already judged them all. She was your champion. Overall. Because you don't have to come back. You just get back ribbon. Tell her that she is the champion. See what I'm saying?
So I need to go find the other kids before we announce that correction. Because we gave out a banner.
You want me to ask Brock Disberger? He probably heard right there.
Hold on.
So just go find this burger.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Your placings on the first Hampshire U class first goes to Lakin Rookstool. Second, Aiden Cunningham. Third, Addison Maxwell. Your fourth placing is Tally DeVere. Your fifth is Carly Abelt. And placing sixth, Kaysen Robinson. Congratulations.
Well, an outstanding pair right here. You study these two, you can go either way. And, you know, again, I'm a sucker for power. I appreciate the overall width, dimension of this second place ewe. When she first came in, I was like, wow, there she is, just like the last class. And then you start studying this one right here. Get back off the side of this one, and just far as her underline and just her build and just being a modern show sheep, this one is gorgeous from the side. I love their foot size, just all the bells and whistles that come with this one. Yeah, she's not quite as blowed apart as our second place ewe, but I think when we get them traveling, moving around the ring, she holds herself together better. She's more elevated, shallower, just super, super attractive. And she's got enough power. She's got enough rib. I think she's one that kind of you take her and you flush her and you breed her to the best buck you can find, and you don't look back, because I think she is pretty dang good. Super stout one right here in second. I love this gal, just blowed apart as can be. Center rib, the cage, just the natural width from front to rear. When she's parked, I really don't have any problem with her profile. Yeah, she's a notch deeper chested, but I think when we get her on the move and we compare her to the one that wins the class, she starts falling apart a little bit more in that front end, getting a little straighter in that scapula. One that just doesn't quite have the bells and whistles compared to the ripsaw that won the class here, but a super, super high quality ewe as well. One to be proud of here in the second hole. We've got two other sheep in this class. Really good, high-quality, complete one here in third. Just ran into two super, super good ones. You study her. She's level. She's square-hipped. She's shallow. She kind of puts everything together. Doesn't quite have the bells and whistles of the other ones ahead of her, but a really high-quality one. The ewe that rounds up the class in fourth, another good high-quality sheep. Got lots of power, width, and dimension from front to rear. We just like to smooth her up just a notch more, give her a little more flash and flare, but a really good competitive class. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Hey, I'm telling them to come in and park it, so unless you want to see them walk, you got to let me know, because I'm telling them to come in and line them up.
Your placings on that class of Hampshire ewes: first goes to Carter Watson. Second, Braden Gillespie. Third, Marion Kerr. And fourth, Cole Maxwell. Now in the ring is your champion Hampshire ewe drive.
I think we'll go ahead and talk this pair out here in this breed drive. Just super high quality ewes. You can see that from the rail. Just really, really high quality sheep. You study the one that won the first class. one that has that silhouette, that dimension. Man, her cage and her overall body width coupled with being super shallow and just that look and the ring presence that she has, I think she puts it all together extremely, extremely nice. The last class winner, we already talked to her just a minute ago, and just one from the side view right here. You got to fall in love with this sheep and the way she's built. Commend the breeder who bred this one in terms of just the underline, the look, the modern look of this gal. You know, ideally at this stage and this point, we're going to have to go with the bigger ewe, just her overall dimension and her look and her pattern, super good one, but we're definitely following it up with the little ewe that won the last class. Super good, competitive set of hamp ewes. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Your champion goes to Lake and Rookstool, your reserve to Carter Watson. And how the entries fell when we talk about bred and known, I have one entry out of the hamp, and it goes to your champion then would be Kaysen Robinson. In the ring is our first of two South Down classes. We have many other sponsors to thank here at our sheep show tonight. We have CJ Feed and Supply, also Sam and Sherry Liggett, High Noon Feeds, Diamond Sea Livestock. Once again, the Kansas Junior Livestock Show Drovers. They've sponsored many different awards that we're giving away tonight. So did the Harvey LaRoche Show Lambs, many different awards. Your Kansas Sheep Council, your Smoky Valley Ag Services, your Sullivan Sales Commission, Diamond Sea Livestock, Dale and Vicki Lanham, as well as many others that we've mentioned or hopefully will mention throughout the night. Thank you very much for your sponsors.
All right, really interesting class of Southdowns, a lot of give and take, and definitely different types and kinds out here in this class. We study them, probably are more complete sheep in terms of just balance and look and just silhouette. The young man's ewe that wins it, ideally I'd like to add some more power to front to rear to this gal, but I really like her profile, her squareness, her levelness down the top line. Really good featured one right there. We got a ewe in second that one in particular, I kind of had her first. I had her third. I mean, we just moved her around a lot of different places. There's times this gal gets a little deeper chested, maybe a little more conventional in her overall appearance, a little piecier back there where her hip and loin tie together, but a really good big framed ewe. I just like to clean up her breed character just a little bit there on her face. You here in third, you study this gal, probably more like our class winner in terms of just balance, profile, underline. Really cool looking sheep. We just like to make her a notch bigger, a notch bolder in her overall appearance. Really good high quality sheep. Kind of like the same one in fourth. You roll this one in here, very smooth. You get over the top of this gal. She's got some ribs. She's got some dimension to her. We step back. She gets a little smaller, a little more conventional in her appearance as well. But a really good high quality ewe, I think, deserves to be here in the top 4. One in fifth, you study her. She's just giving up some style points to the ones ahead of her, but you really analyze this gal in terms of her overall body dimension. She's bold, she's blowed apart, big-footed, big stout-featured one that'd make a really good brood ewe, and you breed her to the right buck, and you got yourself a really good wether. Good class. Let's give them a nice round of applause for a really nice set of ewes.
Placings on that first class of Southdown ewes. First goes to Jacob Windland. Second, Kennedy Bragg. Third, Laney Hager. Fourth, Bryson Rookstool. And fifth, Isabel Wright. Your sixth is Chloe Grubbs. Seventh, Jacob Cockroft. 8, Hayden Smarsh. 9, Taggett Summers. And rounding out our class, Bristol Jensen. Congratulations. don't feel like we did, but that's okay.
Well, I bet if I polled everybody in the barn, we'd have 5 different class winners in this group. Just a lot of variation in this set. Things I like about each one of them. You study the gal down here in 5, that's your big framed. Your frame sheep kind of just, you study her, you study everybody else, and you really, back and forth and really, really challenging class. I try to get them right. I try to use my preferences and the things I really like about sheep. We raise a lot of Southdowns. We've got about 400 ewes, so I'm very familiar with this breed and what it takes, to win on the state level there in Texas and on a national level. We study these gals. We're going to start with one that the back 2/3 of this sheep is more what I like in terms of volume and rib and dimension and pin width and flare and fullness. Ideally, I'd like to elevate her chest floor and get her up in her front end just a notch more. But you study her, I think she's got the most positives out here. She's pretty solid in her breed character. Kind of checks the most boxes when we look at her in terms of a Southdown ewe, and I think she's going to win the class. The next 4, a lot of give and take right here. Man, they're just things I like about each one of them. There's times I had each one of them in that second slot. We study them. This gal right here in second probably had this sheep presented as well as any of them most of the time. You study this ewe, she's super smooth. She's very level, very square. Ideally, I'd give her more power from front to rear, but that kind of goes for all 4 of these that are still out here in the ring. You study her, though. You like the turn to her rib. You like her base width. She's sound on her feet and legs. More times than not, I caught her where I really liked her profile and her eye appeal. So we're going to roll her into second. I think we study that one, and we kind of got to logically fall in here with this one in third. Very, very similar. I like this gal. Her back 2/3 are pretty dang good. We look right there in that chest floor and that brisket and just that front end, and she just gives us more mass to deal with in terms of eye appeal and lack of there in that front third of her body. But really balanced, maybe a notch square, notch leveler, bigger frame sheep than the one standing in second. I just like to clean up her front end. The little ewe here that falls in next is one that I had her up higher and I had her down lower and just kind of back and forth. And we study her, and she's just giving up more overall sheep. You study her, she's not as massive, not as thick, just a little more refined when we compare to the ones ahead of her, but a good high-quality sheep nonetheless. I think all 4 of them are very comparable in terms of quality and just good, solid sheep. We got the big sheep here in 5th, and I apologize if anybody in here likes measuring, taping them, and just going from biggest to smallest. But this gal, big frame, growthy. You got to give her all the kudos in that. She's a big old ewe lamb, super growthy. I just like to make her a notch more attractive, square her up, tighten her hide, just make her a little more clubby looking in terms of that aspect. But a really good class of Southdowns. Let's give them a nice round of applause for all their efforts out here.
Your placings on that class of Southdowns: first goes to Zachary Marcy. Second, Clara Lee Henderson. Third, Caddy McComb. Your 4th, Macy Lewis. And your 5th, Emily Mott. Now showing is your champion overall Southdown and Reserve ewe. Your champion goes to Jacob Windland, and reserve goes to, I believe that was Kennedy Bragg. This way.
Good class of Suffolk ewes. You study these gals. The big frame ewe we're going to start with, very level topped, really large framed ewe that's got some mass and volume and just big ribbed. High quality sheep here in second. You study this one. We like her rib shape. We like to add a notch more condition to this gal and just give her some more thickness back there in the back third. Good class. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
I don't know. I need to ask him.
You want a rear view on these girls?
Placing 1 and 2 in our first class of Suffolks was Addison Maxwell, first and second. Now entering our second class and last class of Suffolks. They happen to all be bred and owned Suffolks as well as showing in the Suffolk division. So.
Well, good class of Suffolk ewes. You study these. I think the young man's ewe that wins it does pretty handily in terms of just size, scale, volume, mass, muscle. This sheep handles with the best touch, the most expressive, the best in her loin. Super level, super square. She kind of checks all the boxes. Plus, she's a big-footed, stout-featured one. I think there's a lot of give and take in this next three, but the young man's stouter featured one in second's going to roll up there pretty easily. Square-hipped, wide pin. She's got some rib shape to her. She's one that touches with more power and thickness from front to rear. There's times she gets a little down-fronted. We'd like to jerk her up, neck up out of her shoulders and just make her a notch more up-fronted there. We've got a really kind of tall-featured ewe in third. You study her, she is up-fronted, but we really analyze this gal. She's wanting to roll off in her hip just a little more. A little plainer in her overall appearance. Would like to stouten her up just a tick in her bone work, but a really good high-quality ewe. Same with the one in fourth. You study this gal, she's got some width and dimension to her. Just a little plainer in her profile and her look, but a really good high-quality one. Give them a nice round of applause for a good set of Suffolks.
Your placings on the second class of Suffolks. First went to Colton Abelt, second to Braden Robinson, third to Cohen Abelt, and fourth to Kaysen Robinson. Now showing your champion overall Suffolk Grandin Reserve ewe. Champion goes to Colton Abelt. Reserve goes to Braden Robinson. Well, there's three more in this is a yearly. Almost forgot about it.
No, you're good. Thank you.
All right, a good Schropp ewe here to win the class. Single entry, really study this gal. Got lots of size frame, big bold rib to this one. Good wide pin set. Ideally, I'd like to add maybe a little more body condition on her just to smooth her up a notch. But a good class. Give her a nice round of applause. Give him a nice round of applause for a good ewe.
All right, back to the usual. Back to the usual.
give me a list of all the champions reserve drop ain't on.
So we're not doing strap?
Well,
Not according to the yellow sheet.
no, that's somebody else's. Yeah, because we added. They were all in the AOB, and we pulled the hair and strops out because there was 5.
Now hair's on here.
Okay.
So it's interesting we got all of them with that.
Yeah, just write strop on the side.
I did. I just found it comical.
Yeah.
Hopefully we got all the bugs worked out for tomorrow.
Oh, they're blacks and whites.
They're weighed up.
Yeah. Well, I know they had to go find a kid to see whether they wrote the weight of the animal on the card because they didn't get the weight in the computer. On one, I don't know which it was.
Wow. I don't know if it was a market.
I don't know if it was a market or you.
I'm not learning near as much as I thought I might from sitting up here. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't get to watch the show. I say it's not as fun as I thought it was. No, I don't get to see the show. I'm the only one doing it. Concentrating on this.
Oh, it's fine. I heard that. Yeah. Well, one, I couldn't pronounce the names. Too many names that I couldn't pronounce. Right here, now.
All right, a good set of Schropp ewes. We're going to leave them like they're standing. 2 or 3 super high quality ewes in this class. The young ladies, one we start the class with, one when we got them on the move, I think she excelled everybody just as far as being very fluid and smooth in her movement. Super sound, big-footed. This gal just really, really complete in her design and her profile, silhouettes. Phenomenal. We've got a ewe here in second that, you know, there's times I really like this one a lot as well. She gets a little piecier when she gets on the move. Maybe loping her is not the best look for this ewe. Maybe slow her down just a tick on the move and make her put her feet down where they need to be. This one, I got to appreciate her from the side. Just her silhouette, her shallowness. Just the way she's built in that front end, I like her quite a bit. We just like to jack her up maybe just a notch. Good quality ewe in third. Just a really high quality sheep. Super powerful, thick from front to rear. I think she's got a spot. You breed her to the right buck, you'll get a really good show sheep. But a super good class. Let's give them a nice round of applause for some high quality Schropps.
You come there, you come on this side of her. And you're looking at one.
It'll be fine.
Placings on that class first went to Cameron Meyer, second to Marion Kerr, and third to Maya Boy. Now showing for overall champion. Your champion goes to Cameron Meyer, and reserve goes to Marion Kerr. She didn't give me an answer.
10 minutes between. When we get done with the bread and known, we're going to have a 10-minute break.
Announcements for everyone listening. We've just got 2 classes left before we get into our bread and known to finish out our ewe show. There'll be a short 10-minute break. We'll go right in to showmanship. Classes are posted for tomorrow morning's commercial ewe show. You have 30 minutes from my end of saying this to go over and look at those classes. If there are any corrections that needs to get into the office in the next 30 minutes, that's on tomorrow's ewe show. It's posted right over here under the restroom sign on this side of the building here by the office door. The ewe show for tomorrow morning.
Remember, how many showmanship classes do we have?
classes. 14. Rolling. Yeah, 14 classes of showmanship. There's a junior, an intermediate. So you're going to have several classes of intermediate, several classes of senior. So only one junior.
Where do you go to school?
OSU.
All of you guys do.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone in this. I think Claire does.
It's going to be
No,
fun.
Claire goes to OPS.
She said like 12 or 13 out of the 15 of you guys here go to OSU.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you go to school?
State.
You might tell him that I was wrong. It's 2 classes of junior. They don't divide it up very good for me. They just use a number and you got to figure it out.
Last call, class 15. Last call, class 15.
Probably won't be over 15 head per class. About 15 is all there are in showmanship classes.
15 classes, 15 kids.
14 classes of about up to 15 head per class.
I can let him know, but I don't think it makes much of a difference either way. He's in it for the long haul.
He's here. He's got to do whatever comes in that gate.
So he knew what he was signing up for.
He's been here before.
Has he done it before? KJ Ellis?
He did it about 5 years ago.
We will then take a 15-minute break.
I judged a show this spring where I judged 72 classes of cattle straight.
A good set of Dorper sheep here. You study the class winner. I think he does pretty handily. Just in terms of build and squareness, you really get over this gal. She's big top. She's square hipped. One that profiles extremely nice. A notch leveler in her top line. A notch longer bodied from flank to flank. Really high quality ewe in second. You study her. She's got the power. She's got the thickness. Isn't quite as square back there in her pin set and her upper hip. We like to level her just a notch, maybe stretch her out from front to rear. Big frame sheep in third. You like the grow and the extension of this guy. I just like to see her with a notch more body condition today out here in the U class. But a good set. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
Your placings on the hair sheep class was first goes to Braden Robinson, also your bred and owned champion. Second goes to Macy Lewis, and third goes to Wyatt Daniel. Congratulations. Our last and final class of the day in the Breeding U Show is AOB, which it looks like they're the natural sheep. Thank you. Yes, sir. Was she glad to get it or didn't give a darn?
I mean, she's pretty happy, proud happy.
I don't think it's written anywhere but here. So. Yeah. It's like, she needs to know. She's got to let him in the door.
Right.
And I'll need that sheet back or I can't announce it.
I understand. I'll get it back before we get through. Like, you need that every
Years we've been playing together once in a while. Oh yeah. I don't always volunteer, but maybe I'll get tired of volunteering. So I sent my list of those red gnomes over there. The seller's going to bring it back. So I got the notes maybe get it back that I went through. At least they had an idea. Maybe they already had an idea. I don't know. So they're in their top.
A good set of naturals here. I mean, there's quality all the way to the end in this class. You really got to like the little ewe in fifth. She's just small. These two right here, I think they're extremely high quality. They don't really deserve to be down here, but we didn't have two classes of them. We start with a big stout one up there in the front end. You study this gal. She's level top, level hip, square made, big rib, big footed. Just kind of checks all the boxes we've been talking about this evening. Just a super stout one. No, she ain't freaky shallow, but man, this one's built extremely well. Make an awesome brew to you right there. And I think we're following here in second with another one that's built a lot like her. Maybe not quite as cool fronted, maybe not quite as big a stature, but really sound one. Very big rib, very bold and wide, and just super stout one right here in the second hole. We roll down here, we've got two little ones and another one here that's high quality as well. We're going to fall in third here. Good balance to you, very level, very square. Ideally, I'd like to make her a little fuller up there in that upper hip and that pin set in this gal. Love her front third of her body or 2/3 of her body. Just a really good built one. Two little green ones down here at the bottom, and it's a shame that they're fourth and fifth because they're extremely high quality. I think this one, you bring her back in 6 months, she's going to be pretty deadly. I really like the shallowness of this one. Just her profile, silhouette is phenomenal. Really, really cool built one. I like both these sheep. We just had to place them how we placed them today, simply on maturity and where they land at the ring right now. But really good quality sheep. Give them a nice round of applause for an excellent set of naturals.
One of these comes back in and bred it on. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't have a good answer for it. I'm not setting up the classes. But yes, so I think your third is coming back in with bred and owned, and then we're just going to have some more naturals that are bred and owned.
Perfect. Are we picking five?
Five?
That's 10. Think you're picking five. Are we red? No. Yeah, you're not. The ones you just, the champions of what you just did. The champions of what you just did.
Okay,
will not
so
show
it's
up till tomorrow. You driving tomorrow? So they are. Yes, sir. There you go. So just, if you want this in your hand, when it's time, you announce, call it out what breed it is so I can get, understand. Yeah. It's such a cluster.
So we'll get.
I told him to
On my
announce it.
hand?
I've
Like-
got that sheet over there. Go ahead and go get it. She should be done with it.
Judge, how do you want to set these up? I got you.
Champions like here
Texas.
and the reserves here.
Hey, stop. Hey, hey. Way over here. Way over here. Over here. You're walking down. Down, down.
And in the middle. Reserves can go on that side.
Position number is 5780. Okay. We don't have you in bred and owned. Stay. No, let's go forward.
Yeah.
Well, I think in this top 5 of our bred and owned, super good set of sheep out here. Let's give our exhibitors a nice round of applause for raising their own sheep, breeding them, bringing them out here. You know, that's always a good thing. I grew up showing sheep my whole life, raised them. My family raised them. My mom even showed back in the 50s and 60s, and you know, that wasn't done back then. Women didn't show sheep, and been in the sheep business my whole life, and it's always been fun to get to evaluate them. I think we've got a great set out here, and when you get in the drive where you're picking overalls, you know, we always showed kind of off breeds, and we showed a lot of blacks as well. But you know, you study these sheep. To me, I study them how they represent their specific breed and how good they are relative to their breed. You know, and some judges just automatically go to the blackface because they're blackface. And to me, I like studying each one of them and how good they are in that specific breed, whether it's a Dorset or a Down or an Advantage or a Dorper or whatever he is. I think we've got some really good sheep out here. Good challenging decision right here, and we study each one of them for what they have and their good aspects, you know, as far as just completeness and balance and structure and all the good things our females need to have. They got to be built right. They're skeletally, I think it's super important that our females are built right. Our bucks add the muscle, but then, you know, we've still got to have some. If we're going to raise club lambs, market lambs, those ewes still got to be powerful as well. But they got to be built right so they can carry that. You know, a lot of a breeding program is, you know, I've always put a lot of faith in our females. You know, we've got some excellent bucks, but man, if our females ain't there, then you aren't going to have the consistent lamb crop that you need to have to make a living. But a really good set out here. I think there's one that probably excels just as far as a really, really good one that's pretty fault-free that I think is pretty exceptional for its breed. We're going to name our Dorset our champion bred and owned. I think when we study the rest of them, I mean, to me, there's probably 3 that are in contention for our reserve. I like our Advantage ewe right here, this spec, really super balanced, just a really complete one. You study her, some gastric issues this evening, but this one's built really good. I like the Dorper. This guy, we run a lot of Dorpers in Texas. We have a flock of them ourselves, and we don't raise club lambs by any means, but man, it gets tough down there trying to win a Dorper show. But this gal right here, she's got a lot of good things about her. Super the biggest one in the barn, but you really study her power and just kind of the way she's built. That one's super solid. I like the natural. Again, I talked to her in class. I wish she would be a little bit better constructed back there in that upper hip and just blow out and be more square right there. But with everything considered, I'm going to go with our Advantage, and she's going to be your reserve natural. We'll come back to the Dorper right here. He's going to be 3rd overall, and then our natural will be 4th overall. All right, now we got the 5th hole. I'm probably going to have to do a little studying right here, but again, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to get to sort the livestock today. I want to commend the exhibitors on an excellent breeding sheep show, and we'll name our 5th overall and then move into showmanship. All right, did anybody write that down?
Your final placings on the bred and owned. Your champion was the Dorset Ewe, shown by and raised by Quinlan Yoho. Your reserve was your Dorset Advantage, shown
There's
by
coverage, and then there's
Mackenzie
Bovolus Vista
Kruger.
Once SQ, the most
Your third
comprehensive
overall
respiratory vaccine
was your-
covering more causes
your
of
Dorper hair
BRD,
sheet,
including
shown
these
by
two.
Robinson
No other
Braden.
vaccine covers both.
Your fourth
So for
overall
more
was your
coverage,
AOB,
make it Bovolus
shown by
Vista Once SQ.
Brigham Dissenberger, and rounding out the top 5 was the Southdown, Katie McComb. We'll be right back in just a few minutes to start our showmanship with our junior showman. Approximately 5 to 10 minutes to get them in the ring and get started. So if you haven't got them ready, you better hurry pretty quick, because we'll be starting back in about 5 to 10 minutes, I understand.